In this day and age, a lot of times if something gets put out on like the news, or I know there's not like, I know that newspapers exist, but back in the day, if something was out on the newspapers on page one and it was like a big scandal or something, and that turned out to be wrong, they would retract it, weeks later on page 98. So that's how things go sort of when it comes to video games, and in particular Xbox. Everybody's quick to Xbox failed this, or Xbox screwed this up, or Xbox did that wrong. But when they've redeemed themselves, people aren't very quick with the props, and people aren't very quick with the recognition. And it's just video game consoles, so it's not that serious to begin with. But I do feel like, we're sort of at this time in particular where maybe people should ease up on Xbox just a little bit. There's so many people that just literally hate Xbox, and I'll never understand it. Like it's like Xbox did something wrong to them when they were kids or something. Like, Xbox has not done anything wrong. That's the thing. Xbox is realistically, in my opinion, they've never been doing more things right. They've never been doing more things that are consumer friendly. Honestly, it's what they've been doing has been pretty damn incredible. And I have to be honest, I don't see why Xbox gets all the hate that they do get. But again, every single time there is some kind of redemption for something, I feel like I have a need to point that out. And listen, I want to point it out. I feel like, Microsoft, they really have a long way to go, and I'm very honest and open about that. I can understand why some people are still pissed off at them or whatever, but things are changing, right? And this is really nice to see. So Halo Infinite's player count has finally reached 30 million players, right? This is pretty good because it was only at 20 million last year. So that means, Halo has suffered some problems. And listen, Halo will never be the game that it was back in the 360 era with Halo 3, right? Like, we all remember, if you were around then, and what a great time to be around, by the way. But you sort of remember, hey, there was over 1 million people, and this was just in Halo, was only on Xbox 360. 1 million people, over 1 million people on Halo on any given night. Halo 3. Incredible to see that concurrently, right? With all the different time zone, that thing was lit up, like a UFO chart, like where all the UFO sightings are. It's incredible to see that, and it was nice to see that. And listen, Halo has fallen off and things like that, but I think they're on the right track with Infinite. They've really done a lot to make it better, and I like seeing that. So Halo Infinite has had quite a roller coaster of a ride post-launch and even pre-launch. Back when its beta was released to the public for fan feedback, the first-person shooter had gathered the biggest anticipation for itself because it was actually really, really good. The gameplay was great. However, considering it was another rendition of the iconic Halo franchise, but it was only now that the title has lived up to its name. Moreover, Halo Infinite allegedly has a player count of over 30 million users. Yeah, Uners, over 30 million Uners. Anyway, according to a LinkedIn profile of the product manager at 343's Industry, who has stated under one of his experience sections that Halo Infinite has garnered over 30 million unique users over time. Do note that this figure can factor into account Game Pass users as well, which, again, though, it's a free-to-play game, so I don't see why that would even be much of a thing. Reportedly has somewhere around 25-30 million users. So this is what it says exactly. Led pre-launch analytic readiness on multiple projects, including Halo Infinite. Drove post-launch responsiveness with cross-disciplinary collaboration on data-driven feature prioritization to adjust the roadmap and build progressive successes that executives cared about and could be believed in for a product that gained 30+ million unique users. So this isn't the only part that's interesting on this account. During his time at Halo, the developer studio, he evidently owned the KPI roadmap for an unannounced internal project, thereby insinuating that 343's Industry has a hidden project in the works that it hasn't talked about yet. This could very well align with another rumor earlier in the year that hinted at the company working on a new Halo game. Up until now, Halo Infinite's journey had been tumultuous, starting off with a bang but faltering in the regard afterward. The first-person shooter decidedly launched without its core features, namely the campaign and Forge, a specialized map and gameplay mode creator. Wasn't the campaign, by the way. I'm reading this off the article that it didn't launch with. The campaign launched fine. It didn't have co-op. Which was unfortunate. So this led to an uproar from the fans, not to mention the lack of sufficient post-launch content and a long while and matchmaking troubles. To talk about the state of the latest installment in the Halo franchise, the title is in great shape. The multiplayer is outright amazing. Gunplay feels fantastic, and the sky is the limit with the Forge mode. People have been creating maps from other IPs, developing boss fights, and even creating novel gameplay mechanics in Forge thanks to how versatile it is. Infinite came out on December 8th, 2021 for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One. A lot of people rated it highly. It's at 87 Metacritic. Obviously, I think that it really has a lot to do with, that year one content. And I've said this about live service games, right? It's very hard to put out a live service game that's going to get reviewed well right away. So the fact that Halo Infinite was awesome. But I've always stuck by this, and I think that, and I'm not an expert, but I really feel like gamers and these studios should kind of abide by this, right? Like, if you have a live service game, don't just put it out when it's finished, right? Or when you have that first bit ready to go. Honestly, what you got to do is you got to have the game ready to go, in good shape, fun to play, all that kind of good stuff. And you got to have the first year's worth of content ready to go. I know that seems like, well, if you have the first year's content, why not just put it in the game? No. Look, you got to make sure you have enough in the game for sure. But you got to have that first year content ready to go like clockwork. Nobody wants to spend 6 months in one season, right? You got to have, and you should have some kind of single player stuff ready to go too. Listen, I like Halo multiplayer. I think it's fun, but at my age and things like that, realistically, I'm more into the campaign. I want to play the lore. It's great lore. It's fun. It's exciting stuff. They got it back on track with Infinite. I feel like it was really well done. They sort of soft rebooted it. I'm not trying to give away the story or anything like that, but to be quite frank about it, gamers, you have to understand that Xbox really put themselves in a weird situation because they had Cortana being rampant or whatever, right? That was never going to pay off, right? Like, you needed to. So the way that they soft rebooted is he gets like a Cortana that's Cortana, whatever. They kind of and they kill off all the annoying people from Halo 5, which is what people want, man. Like, I want to play as Master Chief, right? I don't want to see Master Chief's face. I don't care, about that. I want him to be the hero. I want Cortana to be there with them, helping him throughout the way. Like, that's what I want, It's crazy, but that it works. So why not let it continue to work? With that being said, what do you guys think about this redemption arc for Halo? Have you guys played it? What do you think? Rack 'em up. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Thanks for watching. Peace.